Hi guys, Queen of Flannel here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my February completed pages video. And I actually have stuff to show you guys this month. Um it doesn't really look like a lot, but I actually finished quite a few pages this month. I did a lot of alcohol marker work over the month of February. Diving in and learning how to use alcohol markers. I started collecting the Tombow ABT Pros, which I actually really like. I like the way they fit in my hand. I like the brush on them for finer detail work. Um, Not so much for filling in larger areas. I find that after a while the nibs on them start to fray, but paired with some of the other sets that I have, I was really enjoying learning how to uh, work with them this month. So let me start with the PDFs. I'm gonna move books out of the way and then we'll do those last. Um, so a lot of Christine Karron this month. This was actually, I think, I've used alcohol markers as bases in a few of my Kirby books, but this I want to say was the first full piece I completed with alcohol markers, and I did this before I recorded a couple other videos because I wanted to play around with them. I'm fairly certain this was a combination of the Tombow ABT Pros and also my Arteza Everblend markers. The greens in here look like something that I pulled from. I mark on the back? I didn't. I've been trying to get in the habit of marking on the back what I use, but I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out, for a first go. I really like the way her her fin turned out. Her hair was a little tricky. This was the first time I attempted hair with alcohol markers. And so if and I mean I still could go back, I would even it up a little bit and use the darker red more over on this side. But yeah, altogether I was pretty happy with how this turned out. I liked the background, and then I went super minimal the with the ground there. So we got that one. Next one is another Christine Caron, and this is actually a two-part video on the channel. Um, this was done with the Tombow ABT Pros again. I tried something a little different on this one. With the dragon, I actually laid the green down first and then used the yellow over top of it. Which if you're working with lighter values, lighter colors, um, you can sometimes get some interesting combinations that way. Versus if I had maybe based this in the yellow and then use the green over top of it, it would give it a different look. Sometimes with the lighter colors, depending on how they're formulated, how translucent they are, you can use them over top of your darker colors without completely losing um that undertone. So I was pretty happy with this one, and I like the way her hair turned out, except for a couple spots where I didn't blend it out very well, which I could go back and fix. And we also used the Ohuhu metallic brush pens, which there's a swatch video for on the channel, for some of these metallic on her helmet and on the sword there. So we got to play around with a couple different things. Next, another Christine Karron image. This was I might have actually I didn't. This one was the Tombos again. And so I was, experimenting with my highlights and blending different colors, and um I like the way this one I like the way this one came out. I like the ruffles on her shirt. I find sometimes that I get into this habit with the alcohol markers of feeling like I have to blend everything smooth, and I think some of that is when you first put some of your colors down and you're looking at them while they're wet on the paper, they just look chunky. And if you give it a minute to let it like dry and sink into the paper, especially with the lighter colors, they kind of soften themselves a bit, and it gives you this interesting texture and variation, in your colors. And so um just trying to be a little looser with the markers and realizing that I don't have to put a solid block of color down, um and then blend everything else into it. So I like the way the shirt on her came out. And then um yeah, I think that's so. Next, another Christine Caron. This is the Jester. I'll link to Christine's Etsy shop in the description below. I'll link to all of the Etsy shops and the books. But this is the Jester, and this one was done with Ohuhus. This was done with the 120 set of the alcohol brush markers from Ohuhu, and I think I pulled in some colors from the skin tone set for her as well. And um I was trying to do like opposites. Like I wanted to keep a cohesive color scheme, so I ended up doing so like this sleeve is yellow. So I tried to keep things like opposite, so less yellow on this side, if that makes sense. I tried to keep it so that the majority of the color was like I can't English today, you guys. So yellow sleeve, more blue on the shirt, less yellow, and then the hat kind of just, you know, um so on this side I tried to, with the blue sleeve, I tried to make the yellow more prominent in her shirt by doing the collar in yellow and the uh predominant stripes in yellow. And then yeah, I just mixed and matched it. So, and then with the little guy here, I was trying to get him to like coordinate with her. First I thought of doing like a completely different color scheme for her little buddy, and then decided it would be easier to just have their outfits similar and then add some color in like elsewhere. So I added the pop of red in with his little juggle balls. But yeah. This one, this one, this was done with a combination of Copic sketch and Copic Chow markers, and this is a Mariola Budek image. And this was just, playing around. I didn't really do a whole lot of like deep shadows and whatnot on this one. I could have gone back in and probably done a little bit more. And I'm not too happy with the way her hair turned out. And I kind of messed up like her little sock down here with the blender marker, but I thought she was cute, and she was a learning experience, so there's that. Back to Christine Karron. This was the Gypsy Girls image, and this was done with Combo ABT Pros. I actually wrote this on the back. So again, you know, I was trying to be a little looser with you know, applying my marker in some of these spots, like on the shirt and whatnot. I can't think of anything specific about this I uh that I was going for, but it's a cute image, and I like since I had minimal like orange in her outfit, I thought it would be a good way to tie the cat in by using those same colors. Um, and then his little accessories over here, I used the purple and the blue that I used from her shirt to make it, you know, cohesive. And then this one was it this one or one of one of these one of these I did a video for, I'm pretty sure. This was is one of Mariola Budak's hair studies. It's not quite finished. I gotta go back in here and finish up these little strands, but this was with the Copics, I believe. One of my first attempts here with Copic fine art hair, and I did do a couple videos this month. I did two different styles of hair with alcohol markers. One of them was Mariola Budak image, and it was this style hair, and then I did one that was more of an illustrative, cartoony style hair. But I don't have any of the little like practice sheets from the illustrative video to show you guys. Hair, more hair. This one I believe was done with Ohuhu, possibly. And then the last PDF that I have is this one. This is from Nino Kurtz Art. I got this off of Etsy, and this was my watercolor Wednesday video from last week. It was I was trying to achieve a painterly effect using Derwent ink tints and an alcohol marker blender to activate. Um, I've used quite a bit of ink tints this month, and we've done some videos using basically like three different methods. I've used the a water blender, an alcohol blender, and then I've got one that's coming up next week where I just used a water brush for it. But I like the way this came out. The video didn't do as well as I had hoped, but I thought it was fun and it was different, and I achieved the look that I was going for with this in terms of it looking painterly and just leaving white space and learning how to layer and blend the ink tints. So I had fun with it. And I got so now we'll get into the books. And this one, let me move these over here. So I have a finished page from the Ink House. I had actually started on this back in January, and I had recorded the first part of it for a watercolor Wednesday, and it was shortly after um I was still recovering from COVID, and so I recorded painting with the ink tents. And my intention was to go back and show the detailing process on it. And when I attempted to edit the video for it, I just the energy just was it wasn't good. Um, it was just not the kind of quality video that I want to put out. It just felt very rushed and not prepared, and I felt scattered, and so I scrubbed the video for it, and then I did end up going back um while I was actually on drill this past month, and I took the book with me and went in and did the detail work. So it was um painted with distress inks like watercolor, and then polychromos pencil for the detail work. Unfortunately, I don't know. I need to take my ink tents or my kneaded eraser in here and see if I can get rid of some of this. You guys might not be able to see it, but the smudges. I need to start like using my little thing because I dragged my hand through stuff, and then I had something happen over here, and so I ended up just going over it with my white pit marker. And maybe at some point I'll do a background for this one, but my goal with this book is to do the whole book in ink mediums. So far, it's pretty much been watercoloring with distress ink, and I think I showed off another image from here a couple months ago, last month before that. Um, and then this one was just leftover. I had leftover ink on my palette, and I didn't want my palette sitting on the desk, and I also didn't want to waste the ink, so I used some of it on some of the hats over here. So I'll have to go through and finish this side up. So that is our image in the ink house, and I'm gonna stick that there so I can go in. Let's see. So, this one, this, where are you? Oh, was our color along for the month of February. And this image was chosen by the community. I put up a poll on the community tab, and gave you guys four different kind of Carlson images to choose from. And this was what you guys chose. And initially I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And I was kind of trying to have a plan for each image that I'd put out there for you guys, just so I wasn't taking a huge excess of time trying to come up with a plan. I struggle sometimes with multi-video images, but I decided to do pan pastels for the background. So this was the iridescent pan pastels. There was a video for that, and then there's two videos, subsequent parts where we started coloring um, the plants, and the video for the fairy, and the final detail work actually came out on Monday. So if you guys want to go check that out, I was pretty happy with the way this came out. I used Prismacolors on this one, and I hardly ever use Prismacolors. I don't know what it is. They're just not my favorite. No, but I have them. They deserve to be used. So, and I'm actually using them in, I'll show you guys this whip in another image I have going in this book. No idea what I'm going to do with the background. I've been working on the bird, but this is also Prismacolors and Gamsol. I have been finding that I enjoy the Prismacolors more if I lay down a layer, use the Gamsol, lay down another layer, use the Gamsol, and then go on top and smoosh after that. So this is another whip that I've got going on. And last but not least, and I gotta make sure because there's one in here you guys can't see yet. So let me make sure that I've got the right. All right. So this is Karolina Kubikowska, On the Other Side of the Dream. I absolutely love this book. The paper in it is great. It takes water, ink, etc. like a dream. And I just find myself just the style of her art just lends itself to being messy and kind of, you know, letting inhibitions about perfection go and just putting color on the paper. And so this was a whip for a watercolor Wednesday that we started. Well, I had started the flowers on my own, and then we did this butterfly, and I got pretty brave with the ink tints on this one, you know, mixing colors, and I put yellow in the purple, and um so it was a lot of fun. Um just experimenting with color, and yeah, so I really enjoyed working on this one. I decided to go super minimal with the background and ended up just taking one of the Staedtler tinted watercolor graphite pencils, and just doing around these little areas and just leaving it at that. I felt like um you know, it was pretty vibrant as it was, so I didn't want to, you know, go overboard with it. And this was Derwent ink tints with a watercolor marker or water-based marker blender. Got that one, and the one on the next page is the one that you guys can't see until next week. And so then my last finished image for this month is this one. And this actually was started while I was at jury duty. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to get called in, which like I hit a point where it was like I you put your life on pretty much on hold because you don't know until the night before whether or not you're going to get called in the next day. So it's like you can't really plan for anything until 5:30 at night. And so midway through the week, they finally did call my group in for part of the day. So I packed myself up and I grabbed this book. And this was actually done with the Derwent watercolor pencils. So I just chucked those in my bag in a water blender and worked on this for the hour and a half that I sat waiting to go into court for jury selection, only for them to come out and tell us that we were good. They were not going to be able to go into court, and so they didn't need to select any jurors. So it was an hour and a half of free coloring time, and I really liked the way that it turned out. I'm especially pleased with how my blueberries turned out. So I used one of the pinks that I used for the rose as kind of like the highlight color for my blueberry, and then pulled in uh purple and blue, and just, you know, just to tie it together. And again, I didn't feel the need to do a background on this one. Yeah. So, And I am holding off on, aside from the one that I'm working on that you guys will see next week, I'm holding off on doing any more images in this book. Terry, uh, one of my subscribers and community members, ordered this book, as well as another subscriber and community member, Blue. And so we're going to try and do a triple buddy color at some point. We're just waiting for Terry to get her book. So I promised I would keep it to a minimum lest we not have any images in here that we all could share to do. So, yeah. And I did order the other 3 Carolina books. Incidentally, if you've been waiting, they are back up on the website for purchase. So do it up. Go snag those books because they are amazing. And I know she is extremely busy with her art business. I know she does uh tattoo art, and I hope that somewhere in her busy schedule she finds the time to come out with more coloring books, because I would definitely add them to my collection. But yeah, that's it for me for February. So, thank you guys so much for all of your support. I super appreciate it. If you enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I post additional content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.